before I get into that, I do want to mention that I am going to do my very first giveaway, so stick around to the end so that you can hear more of the details on how to win. Hi, and welcome back to Knit All the Things. My name is Laurel. I'm also known as West Maven on Instagram and Ravelry, and here. If you are new, welcome. This is a space where I share all the things that I'm knitting, all the things I want to knit, all things yarn, some things not, and yeah, just a place where I share things that I'm super interested in, mostly knitting. If you are returning, thank you. Welcome back. Let's get into it. If you may remember, if you have watched this before, that I was working on my ranunculus. Looks like I might have finished it. I love this sweater. It turned out so good. I made the wide neck version. I actually prefer a boat neck or this neckline a lot. Yeah, so let me stand up and show you. I knit this with Matchmaker yarn. Almost just fell. I knit this with Matchmaker yarn in her colorway that was just called 2022. It was like her colorway of the year. And it's held with a blush pink mohair. Okay, so I held this blush pink mohair. This is all I have left of the colorway 2022. And I don't know the color of this. It's like rose quartz or something, but there wasn't a ball band when I first got it. So I did contact her. I know she knows, so she could help you out with that. But yeah, that's what I used. And I love the way that it turned out. There is pretty minimal pulling. I used one ball of yarn here. There is a little pulling right there. Just fine. It doesn't really bother me. But then I decided, because the second ball of yarn was quite a bit darker, I did fade it in, starting about here. So there is a little bit of striping, but I think that's okay. And I feel like it faded in pretty nicely. I used, let me start over. I knit the sleeves first. After I split for sleeves, I just knit the sleeves. And then I came back and finished the body because I really wanted my sleeves to be as long as I wanted and fit how I wanted. So I believe I did a pretty good job with that. This is like dream sleeves for me. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. And yeah, it is cropped, but I feel like it's doable. It really comes to the very top of my pants, which I think is nice. I think it turned out perfect. I could not be happier. Okay, so because I am 100% avoiding trying to finish my Ferda Genser, I decided, and I was talking to you last time, about potentially casting on a second ranunculus. All right, so for my second one, I was trying to decide how I wanted to do it a little bit different, just so I didn't have, so it was still interesting to me. Not that this isn't an interesting pattern, but it is very, I just wanted to add something to it. So I used these clear beads by their Toho seed beads, the 6-0 size, and this tiniest crochet hook you've ever seen. It's a number 12 1mm. I want to, oh, it's Chowgu. So there you go. I really actually love this crochet hook. I think I just called it a needle, but I really love this crochet hook. Just the way that the handle is shaped is very comfortable to me. I like the wood feel better than a plastic, so I really like it a lot. And the head of the needle is teeny tiny, and so it fits actually through these beads. And, well, I don't have one open, but it fits through the beads and you're able to pull your yarn through. So, without further ado, let's pull out the sweater. I wanted to use this Mohair. It is Kokko by Aimée, and I was going to hold it with this color, which is quite golden, and I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. This is 801010 by Chelsea Lux in the colorway Strawhat, which I feel like could not be a more perfect name for this. But I was really not sure because this isn't quite showing up as green as it is, but it is definitely like a golden green chartreuse color, and I wasn't sure how those were going to work. But I was so happy on how this is turning out. So how I decided, I'll show you on this sweater I'm wearing first, but how I decided where I wanted to place my beads was put them in these little crisscross stitches. So they're here, right here. Oh, this is just very blurry. Here and down here. So that's where I had planned to attach beads. I felt like it would be the easiest spot to add them. This crisscross stitch, I felt like would be a good place to add a bead. Having now done it, I would probably in the future add one here and technically maybe in here. I'm not sure, like if I really wanted to go overboard with beads, but I do like how mine turned out. This is also not blocked, so it is going to look a little bit different than this one that I steam block. I actually haven't wet blocked it yet, but I think it looks nice. So for this one, if you can see, there's beads right here. And I used the clear seed beads because I felt that trying to find a color that would look nice might just be not possible. And I felt like the clear seed beads give it a subtle sparkle. You can definitely see this is going to be really hard just the way it is. When I actually finish it and can wear it, this will be different. But you can see the subtle sparkle happening with the ones that are placed. And I'm done with the beading, so I won't add any more beads than what's here. But I do think when you're wearing it, they will catch a little bit of light, and that will add some extra pizzazz, if you will. And I really love how it turned out. So I'm kind of trying to rush and get this done because I really do want to wear it. I think the color will look nice. I was a little concerned if it would be like not the best color for me, but I think it actually is good. I think both have their own merits. I would say traditionally this lavender color would be like a color that I would assume would look the best, but I actually think this really does look nice. So that is what I came up with. And I'm literally 2 rows from splitting for sleeves, body. Can't wait because that probably means it really only took me, well now, okay, so now I know my perfect sleeve measurement, and I will obviously measure when I go to add the sleeves to that, but what I'm going to do is I had counted the rows, and for me, for these sleeves, for my arms and the way that this fits, I believe was 75 rows before starting the cuff. So I will likely do that with this one again, or at least use that as like my starting point. Obviously, the yarn is different, and I do think it might be a little maybe looser. I don't know because I haven't blocked it, but it might be a little fit bigger. I'm not sure. So I do need to keep track of measuring the length as well as the rows, but I do like to have rows because I can just mark them off. And that actually allows me to sort of go on autopilot knitting the sleeves, because I don't know about you, but when I'm trying to knit a sleeve and I'm having to measure like 12 inches, whatever it is, I get to like 9 inches, and for whatever reason, I feel like I knit like 2 rows and I'm like measuring every 2 rows or something crazy, and it's like taking longer instead of just knowing that like I have 10 more and then go from there. So I do think that the sleeves will go by super fast, and the body is it's not very long, because what I did with this one, I'll probably do with the yellow one, which is I will split for sleeves and then just knit the sleeves. And then I will, whatever I have left in yarn will be the body, because it uses a lot. And I think I have this much because I don't think that I could have done another row. Like, I don't think this is enough for another row. So I think I really did use as much yarn as I possibly could. You end up with leftover mohair. So in my mind too, I was like, well, I think it could look cool having like a mohair cuff, or like just kind of using the fingering and then finishing off in a mohair, maybe part of the cuff, and then same with the body, like just mirror it so that you have maybe a little bit longer sweater. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that with this one. Maybe for my third one, we will see. But I love the beads. I think they're so pretty. Yeah. So check out those things. That, I love how that's turning out. Other works in progress. I have been working on my Ferdagenser, and to be honest, I knew I was going to do this podcast, and so I decided that I did not want to have yarn attached to talk about it. So when I finished my last color, I just stopped, because I didn't know if I'd be able to finish another repeat. Although I will say that this particular sweater, now that I've split for sleeves, the body is obviously going by quicker because it's less stitches. So I'm going to hold it up against me. What I decided to do, probably covering my microphone. What I decided to do was use all the colors that I was going to use to the end. And then here, this kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it very well, but we'll try. This multicolored yarn, here is maybe a little bit better, is one of the last colors. So I had one more color in my Advent, minus the full skein, one more mini besides this white one. But what I decided, because the way that I chose my colors, I was going to have the white paired with a bright red, but I did not want to jump back through these colors. What I decided to do instead was add the white color, and then I went back to this pink color. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack. So I'm going to mirror the top to the bottom. Maybe not exactly, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will go this, like we have obviously this middle piece that's like different than the rest of the sweater. Oh, I don't know if I've got to get out of my... So this color is different than the rest of the sweater. But so I use the pink, and then I'll use a yellow, and then maybe this pink. So I am changing the stripes. They won't be the same stripes. So this blue won't be with this pink. this blue will probably be with a yellow. And this pink will be with one of the yellows. So it will be different. It won't be these exact stripes again, but it will be going through these colors again. So I think that's how I'm going to do this for now. And then the red that I have left over. So I don't think this is going to be enough, but it is similar-ish to this other dark color. This was my first color that I knit. Actually, I have not talked about this, but what I did was I actually started the pattern, did a provisional cast on, and then picked up and knit this. This was actually supposed to be rolled, but I decided not to do a rolled collar with this color. So what I think I'm going to do, and what I had planned to do, is use this if I ran out, but at least use it on the cuffs. And like, I'm not going to have enough of this for the bottom stripe, and I haven't worked out what that's going to be like. So again, I don't know if you remember or not, or if you're new, I actually have a full skein that is going to look similar to this square, or this, I'm sorry, triangle. So I do have that color. So what I could do is do the cuffs in this, and then for this color, because the way that it looks coolest, at least to me and how they have it in their pattern, is just like this red, it goes into the bottom hem. So I'm going to want a color that is a triangle and then goes into the bottom hem, which is just going to, I'm sure, be more than this ball. So in theory, I could hold on to this for that very last bit and just see how it goes. And then maybe use this, like this might be enough for the cuffs. But again, it looks best with that triangle motif and then the like hem. So I don't think I will have enough. So I haven't decided how we're gonna fix that. If I'm going to just try to use like two similar, do the triangle in this and then do this for the cuff, or how I'm gonna do that, but we'll figure it out together. So that's what I have so far in this. I might end up just basically mirroring this and then stopping. So I don't know. The sleeves will be longer. I don't know what I'm doing yet. This is why this is just sitting here. It will happen. I'm really liking how it's turning out. I am really excited about the mirroring idea. I just may have to alter how it goes because the sleeves are also going to be different. They're going to be longer, more likely than the body. So I will have to figure out how I'm going to do those repeats. Or maybe I'll just add some more scraps. Who knows? So there's that. I started my son's hat. This is the Take Heart Mini from the Mini Pom Pom book. It is using Spun Right Rounds, colorway Night Sky. Hold on. Let me hold this together. It's a really pretty blue-green color. It's really knitting up beautifully. I have maybe, I mean, obviously I haven't done anything but the brim, but it's a fold-up brim, so I think I have another maybe 1.5 inches to do, and then I'll get into the cables and the decreases, and it'll be so cute. So that's what I have so far, but I would like to finish this before it gets 2 more, so he actually has a chance to. And that is, so far, all the knitting that I have. I am really trying to not say as much, but it is how I think, so I apologize. I did have a quick question. Here I go again. I have a quick question. I was curious, when you were watching these knitting podcasts, I wanted to know if you prefer a shorter format. So to me, shorter is under 30 minutes, or if you like the longer format over 30 minutes. There's like, obviously, a lot of leeway in that, but that's just kind of where I'm setting it at, because I am trying to decide if it makes sense to keep these 30 minutes or less, and maybe that means I do them more frequently, or maybe people don't mind the rambling and I don't have to be so self-conscious about it. So if you would let me know in the comments, I would totally appreciate it. With that, for the giveaway, I have this beautiful skein. The color is just a one-of-a-kind colorway from Lamb Good Fibers, which I believe is like the house, I don't know how to say this, the house yarn, I guess, if you will, for Naughty Lamb, which is in Forest Grove, Oregon. It's about a 45-minute drive from my house. But I loved this colorway. It has this beautiful pink, this beautiful pink throughout, and then micro speckles that are like green and blue, like all the colors. I think you can obviously make whatever you want with it. I think this would be absolutely gorgeous socks. Yeah, so I'm going to give this away. For now, I am going to limit it to a US address. So, to win this, I want to hear about what you are working on, if anything. It's okay if you're not working on anything. And again, podcasts that are 30 minutes or less, or podcasts that are 30 minutes or more. So that is kind of, I want that information. You'll help me understand a little bit more about you. And yeah, so to win this, 30 minutes more, 30 minutes less, what you're working on if you want. And then the next podcast, I will announce the name, and then you will contact me on email. So I will not say you've won in the comments or anything like that. Someone I know there's a lot of bots and things, so I will only announce your name. I'll put it on the screen. You'll know if it's you, and if you won. So that's how you're going to win. That's how I'm going to notify you. I will not notify you in the comments. That is all I have for knitting, yarn, etc., etc., etc. All right, things outside of knitting. Right now, I am watching, well, I've previously watched seasons 1 through 3 of You, and season 3, without ruining it, was like a very strong finish, if you will. That there was like, it was just intense. The very last episode was very intense. And so I was very hesitant to start it again because of that kind of intense thing. And I feel like I started it and had to step away because it is a little bit intense for me. I actually think I enjoy it, but I certainly feel that there is a little intensity that sometimes I have to be like, I'll just watch a little bit and then come back later. So saying that, I really haven't been watching a ton of shows at the moment. I have been catching up on podcasts a lot. I feel like I've caught up on all of Professor Pearl's podcasts, all of the Knitting PT, Andrea's podcasts. I feel like I've watched all of Aro's. I've been just kind of going through all the knitting podcasts that I feel like I've either missed or new to me. So I've been kind of working on that while I'm knitting, but I haven't really been doing anything else. So that's kind of all. It was so nice catching up with you. Remember to comment so that I can enter. Oh, shoot. Comment and subscribe. Comment and subscribe. I will probably edit it so it says comment and subscribe on the screen. But comment, subscribe to be entered for the giveaway. US residents only right now. I will look into shipping for other things and maybe I can open that up a little bit. But for right now, just US residents. And then if you found this video amusing, helpful, inspiring, none of the above, all of the above, make sure to like. And yeah, hopefully you win this awesome yarn. And until next time, Happy Knitting!
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.